Welcome. The Collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love. What we ask of you is to sit and listen. Listen to each of the vibrations, each of the frequencies, as it resonates to you and through you. Sense each of the vibrations. Each of the words carries a frequency, a vibration, an understanding, a knowing, a healing. And allow yourself, allow your vibration to fully understand what it is, to understand what is presented to you. So many questions, so many answers. The answers are right before you. But with each answer, there are more questions, and with more questions, there are more answers, and there are more questions. It is this repeating cycle that never ends. For what has been laid out before you in this recent cycle, this recent month, this change that lays at your feet. Many are questioning. Many have an understanding. What is being presented to me? Why is this being shown to me? Why is my body reacting the way it is reacting? Why is the environment reacting the way it is acting? Why? The question of why. It is not necessarily a question of why, but where. Where are you? Where are your thoughts? Where are your understandings? Where is it that you are feeling uncomfortable? Feeling the pressure? Feeling the isolation? Feeling the unknown? These are all of the questions that should be asked. Your body is the indicator, that is correct. That is why you are in this human body. It is the indicator, it is the barometer, it is the measure by which change comes upon you. But many of you experience something different in the body. It is something new, this change that comes about the body. And you begin to question everything that lays before you. Where shall I seek the answer? Shall I go to the past? Shall I go to the future? But it's right in front of you. Why be distracted by these things that are in the future, in the past, when it lies right in front of you? You can ask yourself, where is this uncomfortableness coming from? Where is this unknown coming from? But it is to understand how energetically you are changing. And sometimes there is not an answer that is an appropriate answer for what you are experiencing. It is just to experience and acknowledge that you're shifting, continually shifting your process, shifting your being, shifting your energetic presence. So it is the human that requests the information. It is the human that must fill in the blank of why. But in reality, there is not one pure answer. Your energetic form must go through these changes, must be in acceptance with these changes. Yes, there is an abundance of energy that is transiting your planet and will continue to transit your planet. And yes, there are changes energetically that are taking place around your planet. As your body begins to adjust to all of this, it is just that, an adjustment. So instead of seeking answers, relax. Take solitude in the understanding that you are changing, you are evolving, you are leveling up, you are advancing, you are ascending. And in that, comfort shall lie. Knowing and understanding that there isn't necessarily one answer for anything that is taking place, but understanding the comfort in your momentum forward, your ascension, your advancement, whatever you wish to call it. And allow that to wash through the body. Acknowledge it. Take time for yourself. Set aside everything else for that moment. And thank it. Thank your body for showing you that you are advancing, that you are ascending, that you are transforming. Your body is just catching up to what your energetic body already knows. And that in itself will wane away. It may happen again and again. But it is to rewire and re-understand how this evolution takes place, this ascension takes place. It is a natural course of action for any being upon this planet to have this process. And it is natural for the body, the humanness, to seek answers. And you may fill in some blanks with certain answers from the past or certain answers from the future, certain understandings and concepts, when truly your body is adjusting, attenuating. This is what you've been seeking. This ascension, this momentum forward. This has been what you've been seeking. And now that it's here, and it's affecting your body in a certain way, the questions come ahead of the acceptance. It should be the acceptance ahead of the questions. When you accept that you are transforming, take comfort in that transforming, then the questions will be much different than why am I feeling this? Why is my body showing me this? It will be, what shall I do now? How do I take what I've just understood with my body and use it? Where should I use my new understanding? Who shall I be in contact with? That is part of your evolution. That is part of your ascension. So that is what we want you to understand. Allow your body the time to process, to integrate, to ascend, to transform, to evolve. And understand that this is continuing. It is just your vibrational field of your body now is in a state at which it is receiving more, and it will continue to receive more. Your physical body must catch up. Your physical body must adjust and allow that adjustment to take place. If you have questions, please begin.
Thank you for that and that beautiful wisdom. That was very helpful. Thank you. So speaking of this energy, Mimi has had vertigo since the end of December. What is that attributed to for her in her case, please? What does she need to know about that?
The scales are misaligned. Having an understanding of your physical presence and your energetic presence is quite clear. There are thoughts, there are understandings, there's placement that is out of balance with the current knowing of your presence. This balance, this process of being in balance. Many of you are experiencing the unevenness of this process. You must understand, the physical body itself, just as it has been described, is quite attuned to all that is taking place. No matter your circumstances, there is a misalignment. There's a misalignment of the true understandings, the true teachings, the true essence of your energetic placement, and all of what you understand in your physical presence, your deep understanding of the human essence, the human being, the human process, the human body itself. There's a shift to the humanness. It is pulling away from this energetic anchor. And so when the energetic fields are just slightly off, many may experience it as being confused. It may be that in this case, as you say, vertical. It is one that you have this unequal footing, unequal placement. And that is truly what it is. It's uneven footing. No matter the circumstances at the core of it, there's a reflection point of this unevenness. A shift took place of questioning. Questioning one's presence. Up to that point of existence, there was a blended atmosphere of energy and physicality. Then a question crept in. This question is one that is beginning to shift these scales, this balance. In order to bring this back into balance, you have to set aside all the questions. You stop the seeking. The more you seek, the more there is a question, the more the balance will begin to sway. You have to step into the knowing. have to step into the knowing and the understanding of where you were. The knowing of who you are truly at the core. The knowing that no matter the circumstances, you are equally balanced as you once were. You have to shift everything that you understand into a knowing, the owning of that knowledge. When you begin to own the knowledge that you have, and it becomes your foundation, that is where the balance will begin to shift once again, and it will begin to equalize. But it is this point at which you must reconstruct your thoughts, reconstruct how you approach everything from a point of knowing. And when you begin this, you'll begin to feel this shift take place, physically and energetically.
Awesome, thank you for that. And who was the Benjamin that appeared in the Reiki session, please?
Benjamin is on the ancestral line that is the maternal side of a line of healers, not your typical healer. This Benjamin has made his presence in the past, not by name, but by physical presence, energetically to this individual. The healing in which he wishes to convey the information will be derived from your earthly plane, from your earth itself. Many tools and many understandings come from your planet, your healing planet.
Awesome, thank you for that. So as part of this evolution that we're all going through, it sometimes feels like within our own family, we have two completely different realities. We're seeing and experiencing things one way, and a family member might be experiencing something a completely different way. And Samantha, who's with us, is having this struggle. Is this simply a byproduct of our divergence with the way that we're evolving, or can you explain how this can happen, that two people in the same family can see something completely different?
First, you must understand how your eyes witness the world in front of you. Allow yourself to digress to the point that you were unaware before you understood where you are now. For your vision of the world in front of you was singular. You saw it as a roadway with those coming and going on one plane, going somewhere, coming from somewhere, and that is all you saw. That was the world you existed in. A singular plane. Something began to divert your vision to a new understanding. Began to shift that in a way you began to understand things slightly different. You didn't understand why, you didn't understand how, but you knew that it began to shift. You began to see things differently. See things for what they were, what they are, what they're going to be. Now, move yourself to the point at which you are now, aware. You have a deeper understanding of yourself, the world around you, your energetic presence, the divine connection you have, the quantum field in which you exist. Now look at that roadway, look at that path. It is no longer a singular path. There are multiple paths taking place at the same time that you are witnessing just one. In every direction, in every existence. That is just for you. Enter in someone else that is in your family unit. They too have a particular vision of what their existence is. It may be the singular path, it may be the multiple universe path. So when you ask yourself, why is it that in one family that multiple people can see the same thing differently multiple times? It is just that. They are on a different path, a different roadway, a different existence. Though similar existence in your physical presence, but energetically a different path. Energetically a different dimension, a different universe, whatever you wish to say. So you may look at one particular object and say, this is what it is, and they look at the same object and tell you, no, it is this. That is because in their reality, their existence, that multi-dimensional plane they are on, it is their truth. In this is your understanding of what is taking place right now. For you must understand, many of you say that the veil is thinning. For many of you, there is non-existent veil. You see it all in front of you. Many of you, it's as if someone's blindfolded you. So you must understand that it doesn't matter where they are in conjunction with your family unit or not. Each individual is on a different dimensional existence, a dimensional path. They may be talking the same language as you, but they see it completely different than you. And this is the most critical aspect. For in between the conversations is the acceptance. It doesn't matter what was said. It is to come to the common ground of understanding that they are just as unique as you are, just as advanced as you are, and each and every one of you are here to advance the existence around your planet. And it is in between each one of those words, each one of those existences, that a common ground must be found.
Thank you for that reminder. So Kirk has an interesting question, and we'd like to address this to the regional, higher frequency, earth-based, human collective energy of Thailand. it seems as though, and he's been told before, that the vibration of the people of that country and that general area, that region, have a higher vibration, and as such, their experience of COVID has been very different and perhaps not as severe, not as many cases, etc. Would this energy, this regional energy, like to provide us with information related to that or an understanding of that, please?
It is quite interesting how you explain the vibrational differences. There is a resonance that is quite unique to the geographic location. Understanding the geographic resonance will help you understand the energetic presence of the human forms in that region. The vibrational expression comes from a deep crystalline base, deep below your surface. This crystalline base, do not be confused. This is not to be expressed as a portal. This is as one would hit and resonate a gong. That is what is being perceived. The crystalline base vibrates at a particular frequency that is then emanated up through that particular region. Each of the human forms in that particular region then begin to vibrate at that frequency. Whether they expect to or not, they're vibrating at that particular frequency. You address the virus, this COVID, and their experience with it. It has been experienced, but yes, not in the similar fashion that in your regions that it has been experienced. Vibration itself, the higher frequencies of vibration, if the human is fully evolved into that vibration, it will mitigate many things, many factors. Whether that is something that is induced into the physical body or something that environmentally that it is surrounded by. The frequencies themselves will mitigate the detrimental effects of most environmental factors. Things that the human may ingest or be placed into the body. This frequency, it is not one that can be heard by the human ears, but it can be felt at the cellular level. This frequency, this vibration, once attuned to it, it is something that you will not forget. The human body will vibrate from its feet to its head in a way in which it is as if the gong has been struck. and it will continue to resonate and vibrate.
Fascinating. Thank you for that information. So then if people move away from that area, are they still able to vibrate at that high frequency?
They will sustain this vibrational frequency for some time. They will understand that it will begin to wane, and they may be called back. And this is why many do not leave, and those that do are, as would be said, called home.
And so then the opposite effect, if people move to that area or are tourists, then their vibration rises?
This is correct. They will feel as if they have been rejuvenated. They will feel as if they have been reset. And once they leave, they will begin to question why they begin to feel the way they did before they arrived there.
How many places on Earth's surface have that special type of high-level frequency?
The resonant frequency is quite different in multiple regions. There are 6 specific regions throughout your planet that vibrate at a particular frequency similar to this region, but each having its own frequency class. You must understand, if all regions were to vibrate at the same frequency level, same frequency amplitude, it would end up being detrimental to your planet. So each one is slightly different than the other. But these 6 different regions, all centrally located around your midsection of your planet, is where they reside.
So around the equator.
This is correct.
Interesting. Thank you for that information. Returning to the collective, Ali has a question about the blue flame that she experienced a couple of months ago. Can you share the meaning of that for her, please?
The presence of the blue flame that you have experienced is one that provides you a double message. The vibrant blue in its flame representative is one to understand your angelic healing presence, this blue flame, this eternal blue flame. This is something that has been present with you in your presence, your field. It has made witness to you many times, but you have yet to recognize the significance. It has shown itself multiple times, but it is this particular time. And it is where now you will make the connection. The second half of this understanding, this vibrant blue, this is to cast your eye skyward, out into the heavens. This is your galactic connection. This is your awakening The blue itself is representative of the blue avian race and all of its knowledge. Allowing that then to merge with this angelic healing. You are surrounded divinely and galactically for the words that you speak, the presence that you hold. And it is not just in presence with other humans. It is in presence with their essence, their divine being themselves. As you would say, their soul. So it is to understand that you've been able to be represented in this merged aspect of angelic and galactic energies. The blue flame itself represents to you this merging, this presence that lays with you, inside of you. The blue has been presented to you multiple times. The flame has been presented to you multiple times. It is now that they merge to show you the strength with each. And allow yourself to sit with that. And allow yourself to be open to receiving both the angelic message and the galactic message.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Mary Ellen has a question about someone who visited her in the night not too long ago. In her bed, she was not able to move. This has happened before. She was able to see that this being appeared male, younger, and there were two other males in the room as well. And she heard something about checking your frequency. Can you explain what those beings were there for and who they were, please?
Do not be alarmed by the presence of these individuals. The forms in which they take may shift in time. Your memory presents itself in an image in front of you. That is the easiest acceptance. Energetically, they will come to you and they will be presented to you in this fashion. But as you begin to accept their presence, they will begin to show themselves in their true form, their true Arcturian form. As for the message of frequency, and the reason you were not able to move, one must understand, and this is a message for all, as your physical body begins to be upgraded, evolve, your frequencies are going to need to be adjusted accordingly. They may be adjusted just by the energies that surround you. But for those that have a deep galactic connection, and those that have other worldly connections, you may be presented with those that are there to assist. Your body must be put in stasis. It must be placed in an idle position for this process to take place. Do not be alarmed by it. The more you understand and accept, the more comfortable the process will be. The uncomfortableness comes when your brain is engaged because, yes, even though you are asleep and your body is in stasis, your physical mind will be active. Do not be frightened by it. They are there to assist, and they will provide you other assistance along the way. So allow the attunements to continue, the vibrational alignments, the frequency upgrades. They are all for everyone's benefit.
Thank you. Amazing. So during our last Galactic Ambassador meeting, and we were working with the Mandelas, Elaine was seeing double. Everybody that was here were doubled. Can you explain what was happening, please?
Just as it was presented in an earlier explanation of the multi-dimensional universe you exist in, when you allow your frequency to vibrate at a particular level for just a moment, which you can do at any particular time, you are phasing out of your physical body into your energetic body and phasing back in. So you must understand there will be things that will help assist that, trigger that, whatever you wish to call it, experiences that will come upon your path that allow your separation to take place. And this is where it becomes interesting. Many of you experience this in your sleep state, in your astral plane. Your physical body is in its sleep position, but your energetic body leaves. Who is there to witness it? But you are not in a sleep state. You are not in a sleep state, but you are in a meditative state. A vibrational state in which your physical body relaxed to a point at which your energetic body wanted to experience on its own. So that is what was being witnessed. There were others that did witness this as well. Not as clearly, but they witnessed the shimmer of the energetic body being displaced from the physical body. This will continue. This is part of this evolution. Will you be able to separate yourself? Remaining in your physical presence will not be in the sleep state, but your energetic presence will slide out, intermingle with other energetic presence, and slide back in, and you will gain the knowledge of that experience much easier than interacting person to person.
Fascinating, thank you. So scientists and others are noticing that animals are migrating into areas where they're not normally located. Why is this happening, please?
You have an understanding of animals upon your planet. They're there for healing. They're there to comfort. They're there to change. Mother Earth itself understands what is needed. Mother Earth calls out to groups of animals, herds of animals, collectives of animals, to shift from one location to another location. And it is for the purpose of healing. It is the purpose of rebuilding and comforting a particular area. The healing process that is involved. Just as you accept an animal into your midst, you may not have an understanding of why until that happens. And when it does, you understand the healing nature of that animal. You understand the comforting nature of that animal. You understand the changes that take place inside of you when that animal arrives. The same thing takes place upon your planet. Your Mother Earth, calls out, requests for healing, comfort in a particular area, and animals will begin to move to that location. They may permanently stay there. They also may migrate back. Once the healing has taken place, once the cleansing takes place. So this will continue to happen. You will witness animals beginning to migrate into your populated areas. Do not be alarmed by them. They're there for your comfort, your healing. Their vibration will guide you. Allow that to be the understanding.
Beautiful, thank you. Researchers in Australia have located a quote-unquote spooky item about 4,000 light years away that mysteriously becomes one of the brightest objects in the sky for about 1 minute every 20 minutes. Can you tell us what they're observing, please?
This particular point in your space, this object, the light that is being emitted is well beyond the existence of all of what you understand of your planetary system. You must understand that there are factors outside of your understanding. Your planets, your stars, they all exhibit their own signature. One may say this is a beacon from another planet. It is being represented as a object, a point in space, but it is much further than the length that you have provided, this 4,000 light years. This is just this is the representative time allotted for you to see this light emittance. The light itself is being projected much further away. It is being reflected on an object that is 4,000 light years away. Just as you shine a light into a mirror and it reflects back, this is very similar. This light is being emitted much further distance away. There is an encoded bit of information within this sequence of reflections. Your technology has not achieved that point of decoding. It is being recorded upon your planet, but it will be time before it is decoded for its understanding. You must understand that the origin will remain the origin. It will not depart, it will not be gone by the time at which your humanity decodes the information that is being reflected to your planet. But have the understanding that this is not the only reflection that is being shown to your planet. This is the only visible reflection that is being shown to your planet. Your technology has yet to understand the other points of reflection that are being broadcast to your planet.
So is it coming from a planet itself then, or the origin, or is it?
Not a singular planet, it is a multiple complex arrangement of planets. It is as if many people are shining their light into a mirror and it is reflecting as one point. There are multiple planets, arrangement of planets that are focusing this information as a reflection in one singular point to your planet.
So they're purposefully also encoding information to us?
This is correct. Just as your planet has been encoding messages out into the galaxies and beyond, your planet has been doing this for quite a while. You are not the only ones to send a beacon out, send a message out for others to receive. There are other planets outside of your galaxy that are doing the similar thing. This cluster, this matrix of planets have coalesced one message into a singular beacon and are reflected to your planet.
Very interesting. Thank you. Do we know the names of this race of beings?
You do not.
And are they more highly evolved than us?
In the collection, this grouping of planets, there are those that are on an evolutionary plane equal to and greater than, not lesser than. So there are those beings that are of equal balance as your human species, and there are those that are on a much higher dimensional plane. They coexist within one galaxy.
And is it that just that we're now able to see that light because of the distance, or have we just missed it?
It is just now arriving to your planet.
Awesome. Thank you for all of that information. I think that's all we have for this evening, so we thank you very much for your participation.
As always, the collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love.